My name is Jennifer Lee. I am originally from Garden City, New York. Born and raised up until about 6 years ago when me and my family moved out to Heber, Utah. I'm a single mom. I have 3 kids. You'll probably hear them in the background. They're 10, 8, and 5 years old. And this is my story. Before I invited Christ into my life, there was a lot of hardships, there was a lot of struggles. I was born into a family where you feared God. You did not embrace him. You did not invite him in. It was more along the lines of I lived a very sinful life. I guess that's the best way I could put it. A lot of abuse in growing up, especially growing up in the particular religion that I was raised in. You either did as you were told or you were going against God, and God was going to punish you. That's what I was raised to believe for the longest time. With those beliefs, I led the devil's way for most of the beginning of my existence here on earth. I had no trust in people. I had no trust in faith because I was afraid. I really didn't know where to turn to deal with just the way life was going. I became more dependent on self-destruction ways. That's all I knew for a very long time. And at that point, before I even knew that God was a loving God, I thought he was going to take my life. That's just how the direction was going. I didn't see the light. I just kept seeing that dark tunnel. And I figured sooner than later, that was just going to be the end of it. The last days of probably the darkest parts of my life, I actually started to get down on my knees, but instead of inviting God in, I kept asking God to just, let's be done. This is too much. We're done. We need to end this. He didn't. Obviously, still sitting here. He didn't because he had a purpose. A very dear friend of mine stood me up, brought me to a mirror and said, look in the mirror. And I stood there and I looked in the mirror. She goes, God is in you. You don't see that? You're alive. You're breathing. You're still moving forward. You're still doing what you're supposed to be doing. Why not give this path a try? And I caved in and I looked at her and said, what path? Okay, this path I'm leading is not working and I'm tired of sick and suffering. It was too painful. And I was tired of the pain. And with the seed being planted, I noticed that it started to grow a little bit more with the more she started to talk to me. At this point, I joined Alcoholics Anonymous. The program is so faith-based that it scared me at first, but I kept showing up because I started to feel like there was a positive shift happening. And then I did start to get down on my knees and I did start to pray. I didn't know what to say. I was taught, here are your prayers. You say them verbatim. They had no meaning to me. I was told, just sit and talk to God. What do I say? I didn't know what to say. Within 3 months of that continuation, I sat down and I actually felt like somebody was embracing me, but nobody was there. And it was such a mind-blowing experience that I looked around to see if anybody else could see, is there somebody there? And sure enough, nobody was there. But I felt such a strong presence wrapping me up and going, you're okay. You're on the right path now. And I started to see more of God's gifts around me. I actually started seeing the sunshine. And I was like, whoa, that's a really bright sun. For the longest time, I had blinders on. If my hair wasn't in my face, I had my hood up. If my hood wasn't on, I had my headphones on and I was looking down. That's how I led my life. And all of a sudden, my hair is back, my hood is off, and my headphones are off. And I'm looking at everything around me. I started to meet new people from different backgrounds, and I started to learn more about their gods. Kind of like shopping. I was shopping, trying to learn more about what other people think and believe about Jesus Christ, about God, about faith. What is this all about? Because now I really wanted to figure out for myself, like, where am I in his life? Where is he in my life? When I was ready, I got down on my knees. I looked up and said, I'm ready to surrender, God. What do I do? My way's not working, and now I can finally see. Your way is going to work. Your way gives me hope. I won't say anything miraculous happened at first. However, every day that came forward got a little better, got a little brighter. And the more I kept asking God to come into my life, simple words, I choose today. That's how I had to start my day off. I choose today to surrender to you because my way doesn't work. Your way is the best way. And I had to keep doing that for the longest time, especially with trying to stay clean and sober. I had to just keep inviting him in. Here I am, so many years later, I still struggle. And I have to remember that I am human. I'm not God. God is within me, but I'm still not perfect. I still have part of my past that still haunts me, that I need to work on. However, with this resource, with this gift, I feel like I can conquer anything. I had my moments when I sat in a corner and I cried. I had my moments when I did whatever I needed to do. God kept providing me with beautiful opportunities to join MVF, more jobs, to bring in more income, be humble enough to ask for help. That was a big one for a long time. And he kept providing. He kept showing up, whether it was God showing up or he was working through other people. But every time I sat there and said, God, I don't know if I can do this, I felt that nudge to say, yeah, you got this. He just kept whispering in my ear, you got this because you've got me. So now here we are, enjoying our summer. 3 kids, 3 cats, a 5-month-old puppy who is turning out to be the biggest puppy possible, biggest one out of the litter. And it's all a dream come true. It's all that I have prayed for. And everything has been falling into place to make it possible. I'm grateful today. And I'm grateful I have this opportunity to share my story. And I hope and pray that through my story, there's at least one person that can take something away from this. Because I'm learning more and more that no matter how faulty I am, God still sees me as perfect, and he still sees me as needing to do service for others. So I feel blessed and honored that I'm able to sit here and have this conversation, provide my testimony, my story of my life, and I'm grateful for the insights. So thank you very much for listening and watching.